It's shocking to me that the United States, the largest economy in the world, represents the bottom decile of regulatory clarity. I think when you get the real unlock of the United States economy and you get the real institutional money flowing in, I think it's just hard to predict some of the upside opportunity. But the biggest thing I'll highlight, and like, where does this go? We have to be about more than speculation. You know, I get a ton of when I say these things, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think Dogecoin has been a good thing for the industry. And I'm not anti-Dogecoin, but it's like, I don't know what the use case is. I don't know, like, are there projects being built to solve real utility? And I see lots of real utility across lots of different, chains. And I think that is what is critical. And what's for me, the 10-year prediction has to be about, it's not about speculation. It's about solving real problems.
Transactional freedom is as important as freedom of expression. If you have a government that can shut down your bank account when you criticize a politician or criticize a current a policy, that government has a license for any atrocity, because you can silence 99.99% of people if they know you're going to shut off the heat in your home, your bank account, all of these things. If you say the wrong thing, at that point I said, the framers would have put this in the First Amendment before freedom of speech if anybody ever suspected that a system would rise up that gave the government the power to surveil and stop every transaction. That is a power the framers never imagined. And they would have given us a right, but they didn't know that this would ever happen. To me, is as important as the First Amendment, and the only path out of all of these, terrible crises we're in, including the debt crisis and the crisis of the rising totalitarian systems. The only path out, the most obvious path out, is blockchain.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And I want to thank those who donated to my mom's birthday. She had a wonderful day yesterday. Like I stated yesterday, she was 81. And we will finish up the celebrations today. But it is definitely a blessing. But guys, right now we have Bitcoin and crypto slightly pulling back. Don't forget, on the weekend, we are the only game in town. And we have Japanese crypto exchange DMM. Bitcoin suffers a $305 million hack. And you know how I feel about hacks, especially when it's big money like that. And we keep getting news of hack over hack. And then plus, guys, we keep getting articles about the Birdman. So you definitely want to look out for all these distractions, because we definitely know a crisis is right around the corner. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, don't forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which are down on Friday, dollar down on Friday. Right now, we have volume and crypto down. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $439 billion on Friday. Make sure you're pulling that every day during the week. And then, guys, it doesn't matter what report we get. Inflation is here to stay. But, guys, don't forget, it's only a handful of companies that own everything. It's just an illusion of choice. They're just going by 1,000 different names. If these big corporations want to lower prices, they can lower them tomorrow. And then when you look at housing, and housing is cheaper to rent than to buy. I'm an old man, and it was never like that any time of my life. This is how you know, guys, we're going through something never done in history, but we know why. Because they want to move this whole economy over to the fourth industrial revolution. And that means killing the United States World Reserve currency. And based on our Constitution, CBDCs and stablecoins are illegal. You hear Robert F. Kennedy Jr. playing the Hegelian dialectic, saying we don't have rules in place. Yes, we do. And that's the reason why they're pushing legislation on these assets. So therefore, they can write it in on top of the system that we already have. Based on the Constitution, it lets you know what money is. What they want to do is give you a tokenized version of it. So really nothing is real. The Fed already made the system where nothing is real. They're just printing paper. But now when they go to tokenization, not only will it not be real, but then they'll be able to control what, when, when, and how to buy. And you have 3 to 6 months to spend it, or poof, it's gone. And remember, blockchain gives them the all-seeing eye. They can see everything you're doing. But remember, they're going to have a private blockchain. That's the reason why it's so important for you to understand the technology, so therefore you don't fall for the devil's tricks. And remember, guys, technology can be used for good or evil. It just depends on the hands that it's in. This technology could be used for beautiful things, but unfortunately, it's in the wrong hands. It's going to be used for the wrong purposes. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, don't forget about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. We're all down on Friday. And we have ARK Invest, no longer a partner with 21 shares for proposed spot Ethereum fund. And I told you guys, the Ethereum movie was not over. But getting over into a little crypto news, we have Uni tumbles after Uniswap postpones its so-called fee switch vote. Also, we have Brad Garlinghouse says he doesn't think Dogecoin was good for the actual industry. Doesn't know the use case. But guys, don't forget, Dogecoin was a fork of Bitcoin and basically is just another currency. Bitcoin could have scaled if you look at the original white paper, but the central banks wanted to control the block size. And then we get all these altcoins and we get a whole new financial system that the central banks were behind in the first place. So now we can clearly see the plan, but at the beginning, you had to put the puzzles together. And then also we have Brad talking about the XRP ETF. It is definitely inevitable. And we will get a few blended spot ETFs probably next year. And then lastly, guys, the movie continues. We have Biden vetoes bill overturning the SAB 121. Says the standard necessary for crypto innovation. And this bill would allow these banks to have crypto custody. But remember, guys, when it comes to the fourth industrial revolution, they don't want these small and medium-sized banks around. They only want a few big banks, because just imagine the liquidity that they need in order to make this fourth industrial revolution digital economy work. We saw this week with T+1, the liquidity that they needed. Just imagine when we go T+0 and you have real-time settlement, and you're talking about the whole economy, not just in trading. But we had Trump get convicted. We had Biden make the sneaky move when it came to Ukraine and Russia, and then vetoes this bill. So remember, the NWO believes 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.